Hello, hello. It is Friday, November 17th, and I've taken a couple of trades today. I'm going to be done for the day. Everything green, all profits. Let me go through them with you really fast. Okay, the thing to kind of keep in mind here is that this morning there was some hard selling going on starting around 9 a.m. And I'll just show you on the US 30 on a larger time frame chart so you can get a feel for what was happening here. So this was this morning. So big selling coming down here, starting around 8:30 actually, about 8:30 in the morning. So some pretty strong selling. So of course I am thinking, well, maybe I'll get a double bottom with divergence because I really like those trades, and I missed one yesterday. Missed a couple of them yesterday. Missed one totally. Then the other one I got in, I kind of messed it up and wasn't able to capitalize on it. So that was on the top of my mind, and I was kind of watching. I was watching gold mainly because it seemed like it was coming down faster than everything else. It made one bottom, and then it kind of looked like maybe it wanted to bounce a little bit here. I'll put it on a bigger chart for you. It made one bottom here and looked like maybe put it on 5 so I don't confuse myself. Okay, so at 9 o'clock, it kind of bottomed and popped a little, and then it came down a lot further. So I was still waiting for, that divergence for that lower low on price, but the higher high. I even drew in with these blue lines here what I was hoping to see on the chart, because it just made this lower low on RSI, but it wasn't making, it didn't make a lower low on price. So I kind of, had mostly was watching that, but I was also watching the US 30, US 100, US 500. One thing I did notice today is because I've started to trade off 5 minute charts quite a bit. I'm using 30s just to get a good feel, but fives I think for entries is what I've been doing the last couple of days. And one thing I noticed is that this one of the things I like to do is I like to take the wicks off and just look at the bodies themselves and see how they react to different areas of the chart. And one thing I have noticed in the past is that when you get a very, very like strong push down, and then you get a back test of one of the major EMAs, like the 5 minute 8 EMA, and you get like this tiny, tiny little body. It really doesn't matter what the wicks do, but when the body itself of the candle, the 5 minute candle, is very small and it's laying right on a key level, then that a lot of times is good for a continuation trade. So I was just noticing that today because I've seen that before, but I haven't really been trading with 5 minute charts for that long. I know I've been trading for a long time, but I mostly haven't used them. And now that I am, I'm noticing things that I've never noticed before, and that's one of the things. So when gold wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, in other words, it wasn't giving me a lower low on price and a higher low on RSI, I started looking for trades that were maybe like this kind of a trade on other charts. And so I think I went to the actually I just look and see what I did here. I went to the I went to the US 30 and was looking at this and on the 5 minute, and I saw something that I thought was similar to that, and that was this one right here. So if you look at this one, you can see you've got a pretty small, you've got a huge push down, a retrace, and then a tiny body, a nugget sized body against the key 8 minute 8 minute EMA, 5 minute 8 EMA. I can't talk. So I tried shorting this, and it did work out really good, but I was kind of waiting it for it to go a little further, and then it kind of bounced back on me. So I just got out with like $158 profit, just a small profit. Plus, I did a 1/3 size lot, so it actually did really good considering the fact that I was only doing a 1/3. I was only risking 500 on this one, and it went down about I don't know, about $400. So it went down almost a full R. So and then it bounced back. So I didn't see the divergence, the one divergence trade that did set up, which was on the US 100. I'm just going to put this back on Wix here. Although it's good to know that that trade worked out. It was kind of cool the way it worked out, because it worked out pretty good, I thought. But anyway, so what I really should have been doing was watching the charts, and I would have seen the US 100 right here, what was happening. So 5-minute chart, right? And I'll just dial this back a little bit. And this is what was happening. So you had that swing low and oversold on RSI. And then you had this situation right here. So now this is a red candle, so maybe I wouldn't have taken it. But if you switch to the 1 minute, that last one in the 5-minute was green. And it made that lower low, and it had the positive divergence, right? It had a really good looking divergence. So made that lower low and made that higher high on the RSI. So this would have been one to take, maybe, if I'd been paying attention and seen it. Because, as you can see, kind of did a nice little move up there. So that was a good one. So I missed it, but that's okay. I decided that I need to be more focused on what I'm really wanting to do when the market's selling off and I'm looking for these types of trades. So in this case, though, like I said, because I used primarily the 5-minute, the 5-minute was red. However, if you look at the length of the wick, it was pretty long. It was one of the longest buyer's wicks, in the last like many hours. So that probably would have been a signal, and the divergence itself was definitely a signal. So, something to keep in mind for the future. So anyway, I went back to watching all the charts, and the next thing that I did see was I went back to the 30, and what I saw here was this happening. I was like, okay, so we had one bounce in an oversold condition. That's step one of finding a divergence trade. Then you're looking for the pullback to that area with RSI that's above 30. So I saw this candle coming down. I'm like, man, that might come down to below this area of this candle here, maybe. But the other thing that I kept in mind was that trades can still work out if you get a nice looking buyer's wick, and the wick at least wicks down to the level of the bodies on the first bounce, 5-minute bodies. I've seen this over and over again in the past. I call it wick to body, and it's a bullish signal. Wick to body. So I looked for a wick to body, and I did see one right here. So this 5-minute candle put in a wick to body. It had positive divergence, and even though the price didn't go under this price, it did go wick to body. Now that was a higher risk trade, but I figured I'd just take it because I have seen these work a lot in the past. So even though this was a huge red candle right before it, generally doesn't bode well for these types of trades, but I decided I'd try because I have seen these work out a lot in the past. So I did get in right here. I got long right at this level, right here. And I put my stop down here, and I was just looking for like a 2/3 R, like $1,000. I figure if I can get 67.67 R, make $1,000 and call it a day. So price came down, then came up, and hit my target. So that was really cool. I was really happy about that. I made actually $1,100 on that one, and this was the trade here. Right at 10. Yeah, that was a trade. So all in all, I did $1,100 on that one, $158 on the other one. So like almost $1,200 for today. 2 trades, and I'm just going to call it a day. And I'm really happy that everything worked out. And my trading is, I'm very patient these days. I've noticed I'm very extremely patient. I'm waiting for my setups to happen. I'm not rushing things. I'm looking for high probability trades that have worked in the past. Um, I'm excited about trading. This is a demo account, but I'm just going to keep doing this till the end of the month, and then I'll go back to a challenge account in FTMO, 200K challenge account in FTMO for December, and see what we can make happen there. Sorry for the long video, but that's everything I have to say.